Hey guys, welcome back to the Human Condition. This video is another video in our psychology series. This one is what is social identity theory and how does it impact our groups? So this is a pretty cool one I wanted to share with you guys. And basically this one is the idea that we as people categorize each other unintentionally. I know it seems kind of brutal. We unintentionally categorize each other as people, and these categorizations, we find similarities and differences in others, and that's how we form the term for this is in groups and out groups in the psychology theory, in groups and out groups. So there's four main concepts: social categorization, social identification, and social comparison, and in-group biases. So yeah, those are the four main uh, concepts of social identity theory. So the first one, social categorization theory. Social categorization theory suggests that as people, for us to feel more comfortable and to be at ease, which kind of makes sense. We categorize people into different groups based off how we perceive them and how they actually are. Sometimes we might be wrong with how we perceive people, which is the downfall of this theory sometimes. But it also helps us form close connections with people as well. So we categorize people into these groups based off the similarities we have with them or the differences, and we form in groups and out groups. And a lot of times people can belong to multiple in groups and multiple out groups. For example, you might know one person where you share a lot of similarities, but they differ in this one big belief or idea, but you're still broskies or still friends. They'd be the out group in the scenario of the context of what you might believe, but they're still in the in group of still being your friend. And that's how kind of you bypass wanting to be friends with someone who has a very different opinion as you. So there's multiple in groups and multiple out groups. Someone could be part of your in group and your out group based off the context, which was kind of confusing. But if you do a sport together in group, but if they're interested in an academic team and you're not out group, they can be in your in group and your out group. So that's how you compare. Social identification. Those are the people that you see with part of a certain group. You're like, you know what, I really like those ideals, those beliefs, those opinions. I want to follow that group. Those are your in group. How you identify with certain groups, or you might see something like, I'm not sure how I feel about that, and that might be your out group. It doesn't mean you necessarily judge them consciously or intentionally. You might just be like, I'm not really vibing with that. You might not judge them, but you might just be like, I don't know how I feel about that type of thing. Then you have social comparison, and this is, I think, in my opinion, I could be wrong. With this theory, it all stems back to the people's innate desire for validation. And I don't think there's anything wrong with a certain level of validation as long as you don't make that your main goal, I guess, if that makes sense. So it's nothing wrong with admitting when you need validation, or as long as you don't go that doesn't make your own goal in life. And I feel like this theory, in my opinion, is from the innate desire of people to seek validation in a way by forming groups and to feel more comfortable, and out groups to feel more comfortable in a way. Kind of like the humanistic psychology video I think we did a long time ago, when I talked about how the people that are close to us in our support group influence us to have goals, and other people are one of the main factors on how we attain goals or see goals and things we want to achieve. This is kind of similar to that. The people we identify with might help us motivate us for certain goals or different goals. So, and you can see this with everyone, even within families. You want people who that post online, moms or even dads, that post out with the fam, those Instagram posts and stuff. They want to share a big group identity. So, and it can even come down to two people within a relationship in group, people that are in the relationship out group. So it's really a cool thing to see, um, and how it works out with people. Um, and the best way to, in the final part, would be comparisons, how we compare our group with other groups. For example, how one family might compare themselves to another family if they're doing things uh, like quote unquote like up to par, I guess you could say. Um, one philosophical group, belief group, might compare themselves with other groups. One company might compare. This is a good one. One company might compare themselves with another competitive company that's like their big competitor. And they form a positively, it forms a really good strong group cohesion against the other company to strive to have like the better product, right? So it's good because it strengthens friendships and community. Negatively, it also impacts a strong disdain towards um, sometimes other group, which is a shame. And that's how you get like sometimes certain groups look down on other groups. This is kind of why that happens. However, the best way, I think one can maintain having in groups, but also be open to new people is being impartial. The only downside with impartiality is I think impartiality can sometimes make someone form an in-group over impartiality. What I mean, like, is maybe subconsciously, even people that try to be impartial, like not belong to any groups, end up attracting people that also are impartial and form their own group of impartiality. And then it's like uh, the in group is impartiality and the out group is people that aren't impartial. So then it's kind of like defeats the whole purpose, I guess, in a way, because now the in group is based on impartiality, whereas the out group is people that aren't impartial. So yeah, that is a social identity theory. It's and how it impacts our groups. Basically, in conclusion, people want to feel comfortable and be validated, and that's okay. And to do this, people want to form certain groups to connect with people, but not everyone shares the same values, and this causes conflict. And the way people resolve this conflict is sometimes forming certain groups and then other people forming other groups. With in groups and out groups, people identify with group they social identification with the group they identify the most with. They compare each other with other groups. However, this helps in a way form group cohesion and a stronger sense of community. And if people can form an open mindset with this, I feel like it's a really good thing for growth, as long as people can form an open mind to people that aren't in the same group, I guess, in a way, and are still open to those people that aren't in certain out groups. Yeah, this was what is social identity theory and how does it impact our groups. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe if you want. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.